Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. I'm going to create a generic greeting card with the help of my Big Shot. I'm going to start with this color. I'd like to introduce to you Peekaboo Peach. It's one of the new in colors. I've cut this 8.5 by 5.5 and I've scored it on the 4 1/4 mark. And that's going to be my card base, but I'm going to make it landscape. Then to that, I'm going to add 2 strips of the Playful Palette Designer Series paper stack. This is a really fun paper stack. So many uses for it, and you will be seeing it a lot from me in the coming weeks. So I'm going to adhere these 2 strips across the front of my Peekaboo Peach. The first one I'm going to put, it's a little bit wider than the second one, and I'll have the dimensions over on my blog, and I'll have a list of the products as well over there. So if you want to make this card at home, you will have all the instructions and everything you need. All right, so I've got these 2 strips here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is do a little bit of stamping in the background to add a bit of interest. I have mounted the splatter stamp from the Swirly Bird stamp set onto a clear block, and I'm going to ink it up using Versamark, and I'm just going to stamp above and below the 2 paper strips like so. I'm not sure you can see it on the video, but if you go over to my blog, I'll have a close-up photo of this card as well. All right, I'm going to continue with a little bit of stamping. I am going to, I've got one of the little swirl images from the Swirly Bird, and I'm going to ink it up using Peekaboo Peach, and I'm going to create a flower, and I'm going to die cut that out. So that's my next step. I'm going to bring in my Big Shot, my magnetic platform. I've got my bottom standard cutting pad, and I'm going to put on a strip of, this is a second new in color. It's called Emerald Envy, and I've got a leaf that I'm going to die cut. And then I've got the flower that I just stamped. Just move this over a little bit. Sometimes you have to turn it around so that the magnetic platform doesn't pull your framelit right off. And then the third thing I'm going to do is put a piece of basic black cardstock on, and I've got a large swirl, and I can die cut these 3 out all together and at the same time. So there's my swirl, my leaf, and the flower. Okay. Now I'm going to bring this back in, and I'm going to punch out the swirl from the framelit. And need a little assistance, so I'm going to bring in my paper piercing tool. And that's what these little dots are on the framelit, is for you to poke, and that'll help remove this from the framelit. There we go, perfect. All right, there's one little more piece I'm going to poke out right there. And then to adhere it to my card front, I'm going to bring in my silicone sheet, and this is the fine tip glue pen, and it is the perfect adhesive to use with these framelits because they're very thin, and it's hard to use snail adhesive on this because of the swirls being quite thin. So I'm just going to put a few dabs of this adhesive down on the back, and then I'm going to pop this swirl on top of my cardstock layers like so. And that'll just dry in a few minutes. And then to attach my flowers, I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. Put one there. Now where you put your flowers is totally your artistic taste. You can put them in the top corner, you can put them in the bottom. I guess they're not really corners on a circle, are they? But that's how I'm going to do mine. And then I'm going to bring back in the silicone sheet and I'm going to flip these flowers over and I'm going to add a bit of this glue. I'm sorry, the leaves. I'm going to flip the leaves over. And then I'm going to put one leaf here and just tuck it underneath. And then I'm going to take the other leaf, add some glue to the back side of that one. And I think I'll put it up here. Like so, to complete my card. Now, if I wanted to, I could add a phrase to the front of the card, but I know what I'm going to use this for, which is sort of a generic note card that I'm going to write a letter for my son inside. So I'm not going to put a phrase on the front, but you can, depending on what you want to use this card idea for. For a complete listing of the supplies that I used and the measurement for all the cardstock layers and bits and pieces, hop on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. While on my blog, make sure you subscribe to my customer newsletters. They're free, and I send a newsletter each week with an exclusive new idea for you to try. And you can also find the Shop Now button on my blog if you want to place an order for this amazing new bundle of products. I'm Terry. I'm nuts about stamping. See you next time. Bye for now.